Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to give you guys my thoughts of Black Widow. Now keep in mind, this will contain spoilers, so if you guys do not want any spoilers, head out of the video right now and come back after you watch the movies. At this point, I'm taking it that you guys either don't care about spoilers or have seen the movie. So yeah, that's your spoiler warning. So, the movie starts out, Natasha and her sister are young, and it seems like they have a normal life. And then they have to go on a run. They have to run back to Russia. And because some people are after them. And the father figure, being a super soldier, takes out the people that are coming after them. And they manage to go to Russia, but Natasha and her sister, being kids, are taken away from them. I then jump to present day, and we see Natasha's sister on a mission, I'm guessing to assassinate someone. And then this person, before they died, they sprayed Natasha's sister with something. And it makes her realize where she is, what she was doing. And I guess the widows, as I will call them, are under this little spell. And so that cloudburst thing, as I like to call it, and yes, I made a Batman Arkham Knight reference, but the little cloudburst thing unhypnotizes them. And that's when Natasha's sister realizes there was something big happening. So Natasha's sister essentially gives Natasha something as code as "I need your help." And keep in mind, this entire movie takes place after the events of after the events of Captain America Civil War, practically right afterwards. So at this point, Natasha Romanoff is still alive. Captain America, or Steve Rogers, is still Captain America and young looking. Tony Stark is still alive. So I guess because the sister went out, Taskmaster came in, was ordered to go after this little cloudburst. So he could see Taskmaster and Natasha fight it out before Natasha goes to her sister. And Natasha was able to escape with the cloudburst thing. And I know I'm calling it the cloudburst, but I know that's not the proper name for it, but I'm going to call it that for the sake of the video. Then Natasha's sister said, "You're the only one I could trust. I know you just said I risked your life, but you're the only superhero that I know that could trust, that could reach out." Then this action scene came along. Then Natasha and her sister goes to this one person after this action scene comes around, where Natasha has this friend that hooks her up with supplies. And her sister can tell throughout this movie that she's the smart-ass one. Natasha's sister is the smart-ass one. She's cute, but she's still the smart-ass one. And they hatch this plan because they're planning to go to the Red Room to pretty much destroy the Red Room. The Red Room being where they grew up. Because the Red Room pretty much takes little girls and trains them to be assassins. So they go back, hatch their father figure out of jail. Okay, so they bust the father out of jail because he kind of got screwed over. Because there was this one guy that he was talking to towards the beginning of the movie. And he essentially got screwed over by this one man. And he was set to live the rest of his days, from what I remember, in jail behind prison. So the sisters breaks him out of jail. And they try to find the mom figure. Keep in mind, the father figure and the dad figure and the mom figure are not their biological parents. It was just a cover. And so, turns out the mother figure was still alive. Natasha and her sister didn't know. So they go back to the mother figure, who still works for the agency that split Natasha and her sister apart. And we do get references to Budapest in here. What happened in Budapest? It would have been cool to have seen what exactly happened in Budapest, getting Jeremy Renner, or whoever plays, I think that's the guy who plays Hawkeye, to make a cameo in here. But it would have been cool to see that as a flashback, besides getting it mentioned. And so it turns out that also, important fact to know later, Natasha killed the person who was in charge of the Widow program's daughter. And that's how she was able to get out of being a widow for that agency and essentially become an adventure that we see since phase 1, or a SHIELD agent since phase 1 to Endgame. And so we get like this little family dynamic. We see the four of them bigger, and then the agency, the Black Room people comes in, and the mother figure whacks Natasha out, and the father figure out, and the sister out. And the sister and Natasha and the father figure we see wake up in the case in between, and we see Natasha's sister on this table getting some surgery ready, because she, in a way you can say that the Widows are like the clone troopers from Star Wars. About the clone troopers at an inhibited ship to practically do whatever their commanders and the Supreme Chancellor, or in this scenario Palpatine, or in the clone troopers scenario Palpatine's what orders. Well, the Widows were kind of like that. They kind of had their own version of the inhibitor chip. And so the mother figure is in the room with the boss, the main man. And it turns out Natasha was really the mother figure, because we see in Captain America 2 that Natasha pretended to be like one of the secretaries, and all she did was this. And it was revealed that it was Natasha. Well, in this movie, the father figure tried to do a heart-to-heart with Natasha, but we see Natasha doing this as the mother figure. And the mother figure does this and turns out to be Natasha. When Natasha is in the room alone with the main man, it turns out that the Taskmaster is the daughter, his daughter. And he was saying that Natasha actually did him a favor by trying to kill her, because now his daughter is more susceptible to his orders. So now his daughter is Taskmaster. Now, truthfully, before I continue, I do prefer the Taskmaster that we got in this Spider-Man PS4 game over this one. I'm not too familiar with Taskmaster, but something about the Taskmaster in the PS Spider-Man game that I'm referring to, it feels more right, more true, more respectful to the character than the Taskmaster that we see in this movie. Because, yeah, how Taskmaster was portrayed before the reveal was like, okay, I can kind of get behind this. And then gender reveal, we're gonna make Taskmaster a female, because why not? Like, really? So that was like one of the worst parts for me, because you could tell that they only did it to the whole female empowerment thingamajig. And you can say that they already did that with Black Widow, the mom figure, the widows, and the sister. Could have kept Black Widow as a dude. If you put it as a dude, I doubt anyone would be exactly frustrated at that. But that was one of my criticisms. I feel like the Taskmaster from the Spider-Man PS4 game honored the character of Taskmaster more than the Black Widow version did. That's just me. But Taskmaster fights that father figure, and Black Widow gets punched by the head guy a few times to help deactivate her chip, her inhibitor chip. She can't punch, she can't kill, she can't harm. No widows can harm the head guy, because part of the inhibitor chip, they cannot hurt or kill to inflict pain onto this guy. So, Widow, Sally tries to find out more information about her birth mother, because at this point, she already knows she was adopted, or she already knew that her birth mother, the mother figure that she had wasn't her birth mother, that her birth mother was not, like, was someone else. She thought about her every day, and, Natasha's mother died, was murdered, so that was damn, collateral damage was it. And so pretty much the head guy said to the widows, make her suffer and kill her. So Natasha fights the other widows, and her sister does the cloudburst, praying all the widows. And Natasha said, you're free to make your own choices, but first, we must get out of here, now go. And essentially, the father figure ultimately beats Taskmaster. The father figure ultimately beats Taskmaster, but he doesn't kill Taskmaster. The parents goes into this jet that crashes down, and the sister figure blows up the jet, which is despite Black Widow's plea not to. Blows up the jet that had the guy who was responsible of making them widows. Like, not, oh, we're gonna kill your spouse, that's how we make widow, but in the widow program, make them the badass assassins that they are. And which puts her off the aircraft, which is now blowing up and debris is falling down. So we get this pretty cool free fall moment where Natasha grabs a parachute and straps it on her sister, and then Taskmaster and Natasha has this free fall fight for a moment, and Natasha ultimately does this cloudburst thing on the woman Taskmaster to free her. And then Natasha and her sister has this quack moment where Natasha said, "I should have came for you sooner and I apologize." We see them hugging it out. And there's some talking more and more. I won't spoil that in case any of you guys see this and has any interest of watching the movie. I won't spoil what exactly is said in between after that, but we jump forward in time a bit. And I'm guessing this is would be I guess months before Infinity War. I want to say at least 6 months to a year before Infinity War. And we see Natasha getting into the Quinjet, flying off because of the sky that she friends with, does her favors. And we hear the Avengers theme song, and then the credits calls. But wait, there's more. The after credit scene is another jump forward, and we get a cutscene where the woman that we seen in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the woman jump cut, but the woman who was played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing her last name, but this woman is in the after credit scene with the sister looking at the tombstone of Natasha Romanoff. She sneezes in her nose, and she ultimately says, "If you want to look for the guy who was person who was responsible for your sister's death, here you go." And she has a picture of Hawkeye. So I'm guessing they're already planning on having a sequel to this movie. Which I'd be okay with them having the sister being the new Black Widow of Avengers. And I feel I guess Black Widow 2 will be the sister taking on the Black Widow mantle, and eventually in the movie joining the Avengers. And from the trailers, I kind of got that feeling that, yeah, it might be Scarlett Johansson's one last hurrah as Natasha Romanoff. But I felt like this movie was also trying to set up for, from the trailers, trying to set up for her sister being the new Black Widow. The after credit scene kind of made me feel that a bit more. That, okay, if the Black Widow 2 does happen, it's going to be like a revenge story for the most part towards the end, where the final fight is going to be between her, the new Black Widow, and Hawkeye. And through this final fight, both characters won't die. Then we'll, as the term goes kiss and make up. Not literally kiss, but they will make up. And Hawkeye will try to recruit her to become an Avenger, and she will. Hence, she being in like Avengers 4 or 5 as an Avenger. Or maybe this plot will happen in Avengers 4. I don't know. But, it wasn't. I don't think this movie was exactly bad. But I don't think this is amongst the best Marvel movies. It was alright. It was really alright. If this movie came out in between Infinity War or Endgame, Infinity War and Endgame, or if it came out shortly after Civil War came out, then there would have been way more anticipation for me than I had. Because the only things that got me on my edge of my seat closely is that, will the sister survive? Will the sister survive? Will she? And yeah, she did. That was the only thing that really had me anticipated in any shape or form. Because we all know Natasha's fate. So that kind of killed off some of the anticipation. And I feel like Black Widow should have took the spot of Captain Marvel in terms of like when the movie came out. Because I feel like Captain Marvel could have came out after the Endgame. Like, maybe after Endgame, before the Spider-Man movie that came out after Endgame, or even after the Spider-Man movie, is when Captain Marvel could have came out. That would have been strategically smarter. And it would have made people just anticipate more about Natasha's fate. And, which, yeah, they could have had a different scene out of the credits. Like, Natasha, maybe having the same cutscene as we saw in the end of Captain Marvel, where they're trying to search for Fury, then here comes Captain Marvel, and then have it after that scene plays out, saying Captain Marvel and Black Widow will be in Avengers Endgame, and then a few months later, Endgame comes out. Boom. That's just me. That's how I would have done it. But yeah, this movie isn't the best Marvel movie out there. It's alright. It's not the best movie I've seen. It's not the worst movie I've seen. Kind of like split in the middle. The acting was good. I like the acting. The plot was alright. The plot was pretty decent. Like I said, if it came out sooner than it did, especially before like Endgame and potentially Infinity War, then I will be on my seat a bit more. But the only times where I really be on my seat is when with Natasha's sister saying, "Is she gonna live or die?" That was really it. That's all I can really tell you, is that I think it was an alright movie. It wasn't exactly good or great or horrible. I think it was an alright movie. The performances were good. I still say that they're planning to make Natasha's sister as the new Black Widow. This movie should have came out sooner than it did, especially before Captain Marvel. But that's just me. I did not watch this on Disney Plus. I did not watch this on through theaters. I was able to watch it for free. I did not pirate it, but I was able to watch it for free. So yeah. So have you guys seen Black Widow? And did you guys like it or dislike it or anything about it? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for joining my video. Oh, thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Be kind to one another. Love you all and have a wonderful day. And I'll talk to you guys later.